Welcome. I kind of forgot to start this video, so we're just gonna jump right into a trip through the thrift store. This was the same trip as the one from last week's video, hence why I'm holding mugs and dressed the exact same. Enjoy! What size my waist is, but I don't think it matters.
Just put your arm in it to see.
To make sure that it's at least long enough. This is a nice, like, fade. These are 32. I mean, I'm going to be, like, cinching it in the back anyway. Okay. It can be a little bit.
What brand is this?
Rustler. I guess we can also look in the women's and see if there are any wide ones, because then I wouldn't even need to tailor the waist. I would just be able to cut them off. That's super cool. What the heck? This is super cool.
It's got some puffy shoulders too.
$16.99. This is sick. Like, I actually really want this. And I want it to be like real jean material.
Yeah. I feel like that's gonna be hard to find in women's.
Yeah, a lot of these are gigantic.
That's only gonna be in like men's styles.
I think that these will be just fine.
Okay.
And we'll figure out how to do this together. Okay, let's go. What if I told you that this is a smoothie?
Jealous.
So this week I am wanting to celebrate two things. The first thing is I finished writing my thesis and I turned it in to my committee, so woo! I'm super excited that I have nothing to do now. So the thing is I am going to immerse myself in a bunch of projects until I have something to do, so that I am not consumed by my thoughts, because we all know where that can lead. Recently, I also made this crochet top. I haven't washed it yet, but I'm planning on doing that this week and kind of pinning it in the position that I want it to be in. But because it's so cropped, it's gonna be like one of those like shag tops, but I wanted to make some outfits to go with it. So this week I thought that I could test out two things. First is upcycling, and second is just making my own clothing, period. Let me show you what I have. If you saw in the last video, I went to the thrift store, but I got these men's jeans, and my goal is to make those like cool cutoff pants that girls will always be wearing, but then also make the jeans look flattering on my waist. And I'm not gonna use any instructions. I'm just gonna try to figure it out. I actually don't know how much these pants were. I also have like all of these like cool patterns and stuff, but I think the only one that I'd be able to use for the next part is this one. It's like a Little Mrs. like set of shorts pattern. I wanted to make shorts, but I actually like the fabric that I have. It's really cute. I got it from Joann's. It's like this like crunchy gingham with like little mushrooms on it. I think that it would look very interesting with this, and I think like it might be kind of a fun kooky looking outfit. I'm going for a whimsy goth vibe lately, so what I'm thinking about doing is just borrowing like the entire pattern of this and then just extending it into cool flowy pants. I also got this fabric. I originally got it to remake one of my favorite clothing items from Gilmore Girls. It's Lorelai's velvet blazer, but it's more of like a blue teal. This is all I could find at Joann's when it was going on sale, and originally I was wanting to make it out of this. I actually don't know how many yards I got of this. I think they had a requirement of 2 yards because they're going out of business and they have to get rid of everything. And I was originally gonna be like, okay, I'll make it out of this, but I didn't find a lining for it either, and honestly I just really like that blue color. So what I'm gonna do is just make a skirt out of this, also kind of like whimsy gothy. If you want to see some pictures, I'll put them on the screen for my inspiration. I also got this lace, and it's white, but I want it to be black. So what I have is some leftover Rit dye in black. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the shorts slash pants. We'll do the skirt tomorrow. All I have to do really is set up this pattern and make sure that it fits me. And these are from 1978, so vintage. I'm not gonna ruin them, I promise. Okay, so it looks like I want to do, I mean, it doesn't really matter whether I do a longer or a shorter pattern. We do need a zipper. I totally forgot about the zipper. I don't think I have a zipper foot here, so I'll have to hand sew that on and get a zipper. Or I could do what I like to do, which is, one of my pants has this, and it's just like a bunch of buttons. So I could do that. And just make it like a bunch of hidden buttons. We're 40 inches long legs, baby. Sure, it's going in the right direction.
As I'm laying out this pattern, I have to keep quite a bit in mind. First, this pattern accounts for a rolled bottom, so I tucked in the bottom edge that accounted for that and went straight down to the bottom of the leg, which I had to keep remembering to do also. I also had to compensate for the waist of the pattern not matching my measurements, even though the hips match perfectly, so I added some inches to the waist, including seam allowance, and then I decided to add side pockets because I wanted to and could. The first step of sewing was to sew the crotchal region from this dot down to the seam allowance for the side.
I throwed up.
And then I started sewing both the inside edge and the outside edge of the first leg together.
Hello, welcome to day 2. Last night I was impatient and I really wanted to get these pants done. So let me show you what I have so far. I'd say I'm about like halfway done with the pants. I put together pretty much the whole right side. I do have to seam rip a little because I messed up on the pocket. So this is the pocket, it's supposed to go inside, but you can kind of see here that there's some material that's sticking on the outside on both ends of the pocket, and that's just because I sewed a little bit too high before tucking in the rest of the pocket, so I'll just seam rip that. The right leg is completely sewed. I just need to hem it at the bottom, and then we'll do the waistband at the top. They're kind of looking like pajama pants, but I'm hoping that when I put that waistband on, it'll help our situation out.
And so I seam ripped and re-sewed the pocket the way it needed to be.
I'm gonna flip these inside out, and we should have the majority of a pair of pants. Yeah, put these on over overalls, Sarah. That's a great idea. You're not gonna break the seams at all. Nice. And I'll be able to button this up even over the overalls. So that's actually the next step, is doing the waistband with the belt loops. So
For the belt loops, I started by ironing the edges down to make sewing them together a lot easier before I cut them into their individual pieces.
Come on! Ah! I'm getting angry. Okay, I feel better now. Sorry for my little tantrum. Basically what I was getting mostly angry about, and I have to be fair to myself, it is really frustrating, are these belt loops. Something that's so seemingly easy to put on, but because of this fabric, there are little embroidered mushrooms. This one's probably the worst one, that make it really hard to just bend the fabric so that you can get it on. Like this guy here. This guy did great, but that's because there are absolutely no mushrooms on it. I didn't want to go through the whole process of taking the mushroom ones off, so I'm gonna just hand sew those on. Before I get to that though, because I'll also be hand sewing on the buttons for the fastening system and the button openings. God, it's gonna be so annoying. I did pin the hem, and I'm gonna just sew that really quick. We're heading in a good direction. This was literally like the most frustrating one because it was sewing something very complicated completely from scratch. So I might put back pockets, but it might mess up this pleat back here. I guess I don't see why it would mess up the pleat. I use my back pockets like way too much not to add pockets, so I think I will do that. Okay. While we're here, I thought that I would try these on. There's a bit of gapping in the back. I'm gonna try cutting it pretty low to start, like probably somewhere like right here. They're literally cut off, so I feel like a teenage boy or like a Karen mom. My hips can't handle this. I think I'm gonna go a bit shorter so that they look more feminine because yeah, this is just giving like the guys I'm in dress code, trust me I'm in dress code. And I want to keep in mind that once I wash it, this is gonna be all frayed out.
For the back pockets, I started by ironing in all the edges and then sewing the top hem before sewing them directly onto the pants.
There are 2 pockets on the back and 2 on the sides.
After I did some of the finishing touches on the pants, I started the process of dyeing the lace ribbon. And after I stirred it around for 30 minutes, I rinsed it and blotted it with a towel and then blow dried it. Hello and welcome to my bedroom. Should I turn a light on? I always have to turn a light on. Hopefully the sound quality isn't too bad with this device I'm using. It's laundry day, so like ignore all the mess, but I have to keep going with my project. So cutting out the skirt was a bit tricky. I started by sitting on the fabric until I realized I could just take some measurements, but then the measurements I took ended up being too big, so then I had to readjust. I mainly wanted to make sure it fit my waist, but straightened out at the knee.
This is what it's looking like so far. I accidentally sewed a little bit too high, but I'm gonna see if I can, I can't. It's already like too tight right here. I cut a side. I didn't realize how long this side would be, so I might end up getting a zipper anyway and then just joining it at the top with a button.
Then I measured and cut out the slit.
I need more knee mobility. Yeah, that's really where I need the mobility to be. I don't know if you can see right here where I put that pin. It's definitely more mobile because my knee is full access. I think I can climb upstairs if I need to run away from someone. I think I can do that too. So this is much better. It's a little bit higher, but I don't think it's like risque in that way.
I must say the zipper was quite frustrating. When I finished attaching it, I had about an inch of excess, so I zipped it up and cut the excess. What I failed to realize is I needed the zipper pull attached to the skirt so I could actually use a zipper. So I had to figure out how to get the zipper pull back on, and after losing all my patience, Adam then had to figure out how to get the zipper pull back on. And while he did this, I started working on the embroidery pattern for the shorts.
Are you for real right now? You fixed it? Oh my gosh. So I might be crazy. The thing is I got this fabric yesterday, this nice satin fabric yesterday, and like, I should use it. Especially because I already have a top in mind. I did look on Etsy for patterns, but I've already spent too much money on this. Here's my plan. I'm going to make my own pattern yet again because it's so fun to just like make something that's all your own. Hello. I want it to go from pretty low. Hello.
After taking all my measurements, I cut out the pattern, including the darts, and then pinned it to my fabric. I had to compensate for seam allowance on the edges and the darts, but for the straps, I had to double the width and compensate for the length, so I ended up just folding the fabric in half again and cutting twice the length that way since my table was so small. Then I sewed the edge of both the straps and flipped them inside out. Then I sewed the outside edge of both sides of the strap with green thread to make it more sturdy, and finally I sewed the bodice together and then connected the lining and outer layer at the neckline.
Okay, so I just did the hem for the outer layer and I wanted to see if it would work, and it did, so I'm going to show you how I did it and then we'll move on. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around. No, it's not binding anything, it's literally just a zigzag stitch. And we're gonna fold it inwards. So we're folding it in, or I'm folding it in towards the satin. I'm gonna fold it in once and pin it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it again. I'm gonna take a middle one, unpin it, and then roll that up one more. That's basically what your hem is gonna be, is a roll in twice. It's a new day. So I just washed
the sweater and I stretched out everything the way that I want it to be because it was really lumpy in weird places. I also washed the white top here. I also washed the skirt and the pants. All that's left are to finish embroidering the pants, which I'll give you an update on. So these are the back of the pants so far. I did this little rainbow. I did most of it on the bus actually. You can see that the dryer, the washer and the dryer combined helped to fray some of this. Now is just do another rainbow on this pocket. I was gonna do a shooting star, but I think I'm gonna just, I really like how this rainbow turned out and I think it'd be cute if it was on both pockets. And then on the front, I think I'm gonna just do a bunch of little like sparkle embroideries around the front pockets, and then I'll call these done. Kind of a cute little upcycle to make them more my own. Nobody else has pants quite like these, so. Okay, so pros and cons of this outfit. Pro, I think that it's a cute concept overall. I really like all of the little stars and the rainbows. And I like the front of the sweater. For some reason, the stitching on the arms is different, but I think that just has to do with me being new to crocheting. But I do like all of the colors, and the back somehow got really short, so I don't know how that happened. Also, the pockets, I forgot to wash the washable marker off, so you just get to see my work in progress as we go. Probably if I was wearing this outfit again, I'd wear just like a longer tank top so you don't see my belly as much. But that's about it for this outfit. Okay, so for this skirt, plot twist, I ripped it while I was stepping out of the truck because that's where I was changing. So we'll fix this when we get home. Yeah, generally, I really like this skirt. I was actually super sad when it ripped because this is probably one of my favorite things out of all the things I made, if not my favorite thing. I do still think that I should fix this bulkage on the side. It's just not matching my curves, and I would probably have to take out the zipper again, which would be annoying because I've had to deal with the zipper too much as is. I like the fit of it. I like the feel of it. Besides just the fact that it ripped on my way out of a car, I think that it's pretty mobile. It's not too hard to like walk upstairs generally. You could wear this with t-shirts and stuff too, so it's pretty versatile. Okay, for these pants, I actually really like them a lot. I think this is kind of a kooky outfit with this colorway and this colorway because this one is just so bright and blue toned and this is very warm toned, so they don't super go together, but I like the idea of forcing them to go together because that's kind of the general vibe I was going for when I was setting out on this outfit in the first place. I have 4 sets of pockets, which I think is just like awesome. I kind of just made this from scratch with a little bit of help in the beginning. So like the waistband is pretty much exactly from the shorts patterns, but everything else I made myself. The pockets I made myself, the length of it I made myself. So these are like just for me pants. No one else can wear them but me. I really like these pants with this top. This is actually, I made this top with these pants in mind, so that's probably why they match so well, because they were kind of made to be together. I like the bows. The only thing is that if I like relax at all, they kind of fall down. I don't know how to fix that. I feel like it happened when I tailored it. Like I pushed the sleeves technically further to the outside of my shoulder when I tailored it. So I think this is like the cutest outfit I've had in a minute. So I'm very happy with it. Okay, so once again, we're gonna pretend that this didn't rip 2 minutes ago and that I already fixed it. I like this outfit. I think that the textures are actually really cool together. Like, I really like this and I'll probably wear it all the time because once again, I think it's super stinking cute. Last but not least, this outfit. I think this outfit's really fun. It is very like comfortable. I think I like these shorts. I like this top. Once again, I think that we have a success. I should end the video here and just say thank you for watching. Overall, I think this was a success. Yeah, generally. Someone just laughed at me. I think I'm gonna get into sewing my own clothes more and like upcycling more, but it's just like I think I'm gonna be like in this phase for about 2 more weeks and then I'm gonna forget about it. So we'll see what phase happens next. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below what your favorite pairing outfit was or even just like single piece. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!